Okay, so let's continue on with our mole conversions. Okay, so if we remember, a mole is a unit, and it contains 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd items. And why is this important? So as always, that chemistry happens on that atom-to-atom basis, right? So I've got to know how many atoms are reacting. So I've got to count them. We'll use that with moles. Okay, so let's look at, we've been doing mole to mass conversions. Remember, we were using the molar mass found on the periodic table. Okay, and the units are grams per 1 mole. You know, so it depends on what element you have here. If it's, say you have helium, it'd be 4 grams per mole. That would be helium's molar mass. Well, actually, it would be 16 grams per mole. So, and then we've also done mole, we've done both ways, and mole to atoms. And here's where we use the 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. In this case, it'd be atoms per 1 mole. All right, so let's do the last type of calculation that we're going to do with this. So let's go from atoms to mass or mass to atoms. So how many atoms are in 3 moles? Oh, sorry, 3 grams. Let me delete that. 3 grams of hydrogen. All right, so first we can't go straight from grams to atoms, right? We can only go from grams or mass to moles, and then we can go from moles to atoms. So that's going to be our path. So what do we start here with our value given, so 3 grams. And I want to cancel out grams, so I'm going to put that in the bottom, and I want to go to moles. Well, I know for hydrogen there's 1 gram per every 1 mole, because its molar mass in the periodic table is 1 gram per mole. All right? So my grams cancel out. Then I'm left in moles. But I don't want to finish in moles, I want to finish in atoms. So I want atoms up top, I want moles in the bottom. Well, I know there's 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms per every 1 mole. So my moles cancel. Now I'm left with 3 times 1 times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. Divided by 1, so that's 1.8 times 10 to the 24th atoms. Okay, let's do one more example here. How many grams would 3.5 times 10 to the 25th atoms of carbon weigh? All right, so we have atoms, and we want to go to mass, because I'm asking grams. We can't go directly from atoms to mass, but I can go from atoms to moles, and then moles to mass. So that's our path. So let's start with what we know. We know there's 3.5 times 10 to the 25th atoms of carbon. And I want to go to moles first, so I want 1 mole up top. And I know in 1 mole there's 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. So my atom's going to cancel. Then I'll be in moles of carbon. But I want to finish with moles, so I want it on the bottom, make sure the moles cancel. And I want to go to grams. So I look upon the periodic table, and I see that there are 12 grams per every 1 mole of carbon. I round it to the nearest whole number there. And I'm fine if you do that. So now we just finished the arithmetic. What I would like you to do real quick is pause this and try in your calculator to make sure you're entering your scientific notation correctly. And then unpause it and see if you get the same answer that I get. So I'm going to grab my calculator and put this in. All right, after grabbing calculator and putting that in, what I came out with was an answer of 697 grams of carbon. All right, if you didn't get that, you probably more than likely put this number incorrectly when you divide it by it. So make sure you're using the second EE to get to that scientific notation. It should look in your calculator 6.022 E23. All right, so there's how we go from atoms to grams and grams to atoms. We've got to go through moles. All right, have a good day.